Okay, so weekend trip to Singapore. Let's see what there is to see. Let's sample the local cuisine, and then I will tell you all the things I wish I knew before I went. So come along. So about to head to Singapore. And before you go to Singapore, you have to provide an arrival card. So for me, I'm just gonna arrive at Changi Airport, and I'm gonna use the ICA App, which is the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority of Singapore app, and then you just fill in a form like this. Here is the ICA mobile app, so you just download that one, and then you go, foreign visitor, and then you have at the top there, foreign visitor SG or Singapore arrival card, and then you just fill in your passport details, address, contacts, standard arrival card. It's just electronic, very smooth. So just do that before you go. All right, so I am signed up here in the ICA app, and I got a confirmation email. And then I read the important notice here. Number 1, the unauthorized consumption, possession, import, export, and/or trafficking of any controlled drug is an offense under Singapore's Misuse of Drugs Act. Under the Misuse of Drugs Act, drug trafficking is punishable by death. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, you better check your bags and, make sure no one slips anything in there, because you could end up dead. Anyway, let's go to Singapore. All right, so I calm down and then have a very nice flight from Bangkok to Singapore. Do you see all these ships here? Well, actually Singapore has a very strategic location along the Strait of Malacca, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, trade routes in the entire world. So all the ships will kind of gather here. And then finally, we land in Singapore at Changi Airport, which is widely regarded as one of the best airports in the world, if not the greatest airport in the world. And it's basically a mall. It's beautiful. It has all kinds of restaurants and shops you could possibly want. And don't knock these restaurants. Sometimes in airports, especially, food will be very expensive. That is like a general rule around the world, I've found. However, here in Singapore, they've actually put some effort in, I think, and also offer food that is quite, affordable for an airport. So you can easily have a nice meal at a cheap price. So don't necessarily wait until you get to the city center before you have your first meal. Anyway, I just inspect this beautiful jewel, they call it, the waterfall at the center of this mall at Changi Airport from every single angle. And I really enjoy it. It's actually fascinating. But then it broke. The jewel broke. Well, I guess I will head into the city and I will take the train. Everything, including immigration, is so streamlined here in Singapore. So good. And then when you take the train, same thing. You just tap your card. Then when you leave the train, you tap your card again and you get charged. And then there are a lot of rules and regulations in Singapore, so be sure you're aware of them, because you could get fined or even get imprisoned if you break them. Clearly there's no law against manspreading in Singapore though, because no one can sit next to this guy. I'm sure the progressives might have some things to say about what he's doing, but I digress. I really enjoyed the train journey, looking out the window here at all the beautiful architecture and the greenery. It's just a very nice atmosphere here in Singapore. As I arrive at the city center, I find myself walking along the river, admiring the beautiful cityscape, including the boats going around here and the Marina Bay Sands, and again, all the beautiful architecture and greenery. So it's very peaceful, and the Singaporeans are super kind, great first impression. They are active, but I'm also getting hungry, so let's go for some breakfast. This is a very traditional Singaporean breakfast. It's called a kaya toast. Like that. Sweet, and then served with a soft-boiled egg. Also, you have to have a traditional Singaporean coffee. They call it kopi. There are many ways of having kopi. I put a list on the screen here, so pick your favorite and enjoy the traditional toast. Cheers. That's just a regular coffee. Very nice. Kaya toast, very good too. So if you're anything like me, you might enjoy going for a little stroll after breakfast. And this time we're going to Fort Canning Park, which is a beautiful place, a green lung in the center of Singapore, where you can admire beautiful views and explore some of the old culture. And then we're going for some lunch. If you get a chance, come take a stroll in Fort Canning Park. Very nice. But don't do it in the middle of the day like me, because it's kind of hot and humid. This is another food I've been told you have to try in Singapore. It's laksa katong, or katong laksa. So seafood noodle soup, basically. Try not to spill this. So let's give it a go. Wow. The chef told me it's not spicy. But I guess for Swedish people, it's spicy. Incredibly good. The noodles, fantastic. This might be my favorite in Singapore so far. Try this. In Singapore, when you see a sign like this with the price and then 2 pluses at the end of it, it means that they will actually, on top of the price you see on the sign, they will add service charges and taxes. So be aware of that. Anyway, I think Singapore is at its best at night. Very beautiful during the day, but even better during the night. There are just lots of things happening, lots of beautiful restaurants along the river, and food to be had everywhere. Look at this seafood. Incredible. But yeah, you can also go to the hawker centers that Singapore is famous for if you want to have a little bit of a cheaper bite. And here I've just been filming some of the things that are a contrast to Bangkok. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep exploring. So next to the Marina Bay Sands, the famous hotel, there is a place called Gardens by the Bay, which is a beautiful area and very nice to walk around and explore. So I highly recommend doing that. And also, there is a light show with the super trees you will find there. So I thought I would check that out. There's also a cool soundtrack to go with it. So yeah, let's take a walk a little bit closer and enjoy the show. Right, so I just had a wonderful light show with the super trees in Singapore, Gardens by the Bay. Highly recommended. Great soundtrack. Just overall a great experience. and you just walk around here. It's so lush and green. I know it's a little bit dark right now, but oh, great. Come and do this. And it's all next to Marina Bay Sands over there. But now, you know what? Time to get something to eat. Let's go. All right, I'm starving, and this is a Singapore chicken rice. Everyone says I have to try it. I think it seems a lot like a Thai khao man gai, actually, but let's try it. Tasty. And some chicken sauce. Spicy chili sauce. Some stir-fried morning glory. And the soup. Very good. Similar to khao man gai, but that's very good because I love that too. And then, if you keep walking and exploring around the Marina Bay Sands in the Supertree Grove Gardens by the Bay area, you'll find attractions like the Cloud Forest, or the Flower Dome, the Silver Garden, Chinese Garden, etc. And then, if you take a short walk to the west, you'll also find the Sky Park observation deck. You'll see the big Ferris wheel on the other side of the river. And then you also have the Art and Science Museum, the Sands Theater, and then a huge mall as well right next to the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. And then you can just keep walking and walking. There's so much to see here. Even the Apple Store at Marina Bay Sands, out in the water, floating like that. It's just super cool, man. Anyway, I am getting a little bit hungry after all this walking again, so let's go try some desserts at the Heavenly What? The Heavenly What? For those who have a sweet tooth, I thought I would try some Singaporean desserts as well. So here is a red bean toast. Interesting. Sweet red beans with butter, generous amounts of butter. And this one, I think it's a bit famous. It's a pandan cake. So let's go. Oh, that's good. So fluffy. Amazing. This is teh, which is tea in Singapore. So kopi is coffee and teh is tea. And this is basically iced milk tea. Just the right amount of sweetness too. Very good. Okay, well done on the desserts, Singapore. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this trip to Singapore. I am heading back to Thailand now, and please do like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.